I'm Kim, the Abundant Traveler, and this is everything you need to know before you go to Croatia. Thanks so much for stopping back by the channel, and if you're new here, I put out weekly, laid-back luxury travel videos inspiring you to buy that plane ticket, get on that yacht in Croatia, and go and see the world. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You don't want to miss an episode. The subscribe is the little red button below. If you would like some exclusive content sent directly to your email, make sure to join the tribe in the link below, also in the description. So this week I'm going to share with you everything that you need to know before you go to Croatia. First of all, Croatia is part of the European Union, but they are not yet on the euro. They still use their original currency called the Kuna. And let me tell you, in Croatia, cash is king. It's quite funny, as soon as you get off that airplane, there were a row of ATMs there, so definitely bring your ATM card that works overseas. We actually even paid for some of our hotels in cash because they didn't accept credit cards. Croatia has an extremely varied and interesting country. They are a wonderful, proud, gorgeous people. It's a very laid-back, easygoing country. Typically, coming from the US, I like a little more detail with my descriptions and directions and all of that. But in Croatia, you just go with the flow and it will all work out. Because it did. Next, Croatia has some of the most beautiful beaches in the entire world. They also have some of the cleanest water in the Aegean. They're known for having Yacht Week, which is in June or July. They also have all of these incredible islands like Korčula, Hvar, Brač. Definitely worth going to see all of those islands when you're visiting Croatia. One thing to note though, the water is very cold all year long. It's very salty, it's actually very therapeutic, and it's not common to have sand for beaches, so make sure to bring your water shoes. Speaking of shoes, you definitely want to bring very sturdy, stable walking shoes. In the cities like Split and Dubrovnik, they have these beautiful limestone pavers from the quarries throughout Croatia, this kind of uneven ground. So it's very, very important to have very stable shoes. The topography is very different in Croatia. I spent most of my travels in Dalmatia. Yes, that's the home of the Dalmatian dog. And that is where Dubrovnik and Split are, and I would say most of the tourists go. There is also an interior part below Slovenia and above Bosnia, as well as the northern area along the coast. So if you think you're just going to one part of the country, you might want to think again. There's lots to do, from hiking and biking to Yacht Week. Make sure when you're traveling to Croatia, if you're along the coast, that you pay attention to the cruise schedules. The day that I was in Dubrovnik, it wasn't too bad. There were only 2 cruise ships. However, they told me that the next day there would be 26,000 cruisers in town. Okay, Dubrovnik, the old town, is not that big, and there are only 42,000 people that live in Dubrovnik as a whole. It gets packed, so pay attention. Maybe you should go to Croatia just on the off season or on the cusp of the high season. I was here in September. The weather was beautiful. I got to lay out, I got to swim, I got to do everything I wanted. However, there weren't quite as many people as there are in July and August. I also found Croatia really safe to travel around. In the islands in Korčula, our guide actually said that they don't even lock their doors. No matter where I went, I felt safe, whether it was early in the morning or late at night. I was traveling through Croatia with some girlfriends, took off a little bit on my own in the evenings, and didn't have a single problem. Obviously, would look out for pickpockets, because everywhere in the world that you're in a tourist area, you potentially have pickpockets. Let's talk food. Since I was in Dalmatia, they were quite famous for their seafood, and also since they were controlled by the Venetians for several hundred years, they have a huge Italian influence as well. What I found to be really interesting though is the food was sort of Eastern European heavy. One of my favorite dishes that I had in Split at Konova Festivi was a chickpea in a brown sauce with octopus. It was rich and decadent and heavy. Oh yes, let me say about the portions in Croatia. You will not go hungry in Croatia. Their portions are like this. No matter where you go, no matter what restaurant, they're going to serve you the largest portions you've ever seen. And everywhere I went, it was lunch, dinner, breakfast, gigantic portions. In general, I found Croatia really easy to get around, really easy to maneuver as well. And additionally, if you want to rent a car, they have great roads, or if you feel like taking the bus, you can go to Get by Bus or Flixbus and buy bus tickets. If you're with a couple of friends, I recommend getting a car though, instead of taking the bus. Buses tend to not run on time, and even though they're nice, they usually have bathrooms on them, and they do make frequent stops. If you have your own car, you get to stop wherever you want. So if you are a shopper or you need to buy some gifts while you're in Croatia, something to look for are the handmade filigree jewelry or the coral. Make sure to go to a registered jeweler, or you're going to end up with imitation jewelry. And you definitely don't want to take that home, do you? I hope that you found my tips on Croatia valuable, and make sure to stay tuned for the videos about my yacht and my cruising the islands in Croatia, as well as the other videos in the Balkans. Again, I'm Kim, the Abundant Traveler, and I'll see you on that yacht in Croatia or on the next adventure. It's kind of like eating at a buffet in the US. Okay, I didn't say that. I really didn't say that. I would never eat at a buffet in the US, so I take that back. But the part there, and I loved seeing the varied, I have no idea what I'm talking about. The cleanest, try that one more time.